evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Rebel Racing Network and the Third Coast Racing O'Reilly Auto Parts Series. We are coming to you live from Darlington Motor Speedway for the Biff 100 in honor of the late Greg Biffle. But Darlington is a 1.3-mile oval located in Darlington, South Carolina, and these drivers will be competing for 100 laps tonight. The weather tonight is 80 degrees out, overcast. That track temperature still sitting at a nice warm 91 degrees. And boy, is it chewing up some tires tonight. We've talked to a couple drivers throughout practice, and tire wear is the big concern tonight. Speaking of tires, these drivers are going to be given 4 sets of tires to get it done. 70% fuel and no quick repairs as usual. So with that 70% of fuel, the pit window looks to be about 43 to 45 laps. So unless we see some cautions, we're going to need 2 green flag pit stops to get this one done. But this is a shorter track and definitely one of the tougher tracks. We'll pull up the track map. You can see that turns 1 and 2 are larger than turns 3 and 4. It is tricky. The setup, there is no good way to set up this car, so it is going to be a challenge for these drivers tonight. And we are going to take a moment to speak to some of our drivers here tonight. First, we want to bring up Colton Kinney to the booth. Colton, it's Austin up in the booth. You got me?
Hey, Austin, how's it going, man?
All right, man. Pretty good. How about you?
Man, it's only Wednesday, and it's been one heck of a week already.
Well, this has got to brighten your spirits, and here at Darlington for 100 laps tonight. And we've been told that you are the sponsor of the Biff 100 tonight.
No, sir. I'm actually the sponsor of the Kansas race.
All right, that is my mistake. But the real reason we brought you up here is we are looking for a comment based on some of the things that happened on track last week. You obviously had an incident getting into the outside wall, spinning across Hunter Geyer's nose, collecting him, and Hunter Geyer was not happy at the end of that one, and he let you know it on pit road. We didn't get a late race interview or post-race interview because you guys were both called to the hauler, and we're looking for your comment on that.
Yeah, first and foremost, want to give a huge shout out to my buddy Brandon Hale at Trackstar for giving me and Jason this opportunity to represent his team. And, and of course, even though it's kind of been weird, I would like to extend my gratitude to Hunter Geyer at Bird Graphics, for, taking care of us and making sure our wraps look pretty cool, man. As for last week, man, all I can really say is that I made a mistake, and I lost control of the car. The front end got light, and unfortunately, when I ricocheted off the wall, I was trying to keep it as close as I could to the fence, trying to keep it out of traffic, and Hunter came by, and unfortunately, it was just a series of unfortunate events, and I ruined his race. It was totally incidental. I did not mean to do that, but I did it. And that wasn't the first set of contact we've had this season. Unfortunately, the first time we got together was at COTA. He was trying to go around me, and I just locked the brakes up going into the stadium section at COTA, and unfortunately we made contact there. But a lot of people have been saying, there's there's rumors going around saying that maybe I'm racing those Warhorse boys differently, which, you know, that's not the case. You know, it's honestly just a huge case of bad luck and poor decisions on my end. So, I mean, I'm not looking to continue anything tonight. I'm honestly just trying to focus on surviving the Lady in Black tonight, because it's going to be a very tough race tonight, and you know, we're just looking forward to having a good time tonight. And, you know, me and Hunter, you know, we've talked, and, you know, it's just one of those things where I think he knows that I'm not doing this on purpose, and it's more falling to my racecraft of, you know, not being in these Xfinity cars for all that long, and I'll be the first to admit it. So just I'm just trying to do what I can and trying to survive tonight, really, Austin. That's about it.
All right. Well, we appreciate you taking a moment to speak to us about everything that's you know, was going on here last week. We appreciate your time, and we'll wish you luck here tonight. I know you've got your hands full with the Lady in Black, so we'll let you get back to practice. Thank you again.
Thanks, Austin.
All right, thank you. And once again, that was Colton Kinney, driver of the number 88. So we heard Colton's side of the story. Now we have got to get Hunter Geyer's side of the story. Driver for the number 8 car here. We're going to go ahead and pull him up to the booth. And we know after the meeting that they had with TCR officials, Hunter Geyer was still not necessarily satisfied. He was given a warning, as well as Colton Kinney getting a warning. But we have Hunter Geyer up in the booth. Hunter, it's Austin up in the booth. You got me?
Hey, Austin, I got you.
All right, man. So we just spoke to Colton Kinney about last week's incidents. You know, he seemed very apologetic, and, you know, he even gave you a shout out to Bird Wraps, which, you know, once again, Bird Wraps paint schemes, you're going to see a lot of them out here tonight for the Biff Memorial Race. Most of these paint schemes painted by Hunter Geyer and Bird Wraps. But we wanted to get your comments on last week's race.
Yeah, last week was tough. And as you could tell from the end of the stream, it was I was very frustrated at the end. Felt like I had a really strong car last week. Didn't really get a lot of practice in, but felt like I was pretty on pace during the actual race practice, and ended too early with Colton. Got in the incident with Colton. Probably overreacted. But it's a history thing between Colton and I. He got into me at COTA. Then I didn't really say anything. It just Colton being Colton, and then it happened again at Vegas, especially when I knew when I was strong, and, you know, it just frustrations kind of boiled over. But I figured, you know, if I want to get my frustrations out, I'm going to do it after the race. But didn't realize the broadcast is still going and caught all that on tape. So got tattled on a bit. But yeah, it's just one of those things. You know, I accepted my warning, and hopefully racing between Colton and I can be clean. But I will say I don't trust him. So I'm going to try to avoid him at all costs.
All right, well, we appreciate you taking the time to comment. Sounds like you two have buried the hatchet for now, but we'll be keeping a close eye.
Yep, absolutely.
So, but we're going to let you get down there and finish practice. So we appreciate you taking the time. Yeah, we appreciate you taking the time to talk to us, buddy. Have a good evening. Good luck tonight.
Yeah. See you later.
Thank you. And once again, that was Hunter Geyer, driver of the number 8. His comments on last week's incident. Now, as practice is winding down, it is time to head down trackside for our driver introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to meet your TCR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series drivers. Driving the number 4 Zen Chevrolet Camaro, Jackson Sibley. In the number 5 NOS Energy Chevrolet, Travis Neiman. Driving the number 8 Rebel Racing Network Chevy and owner of Bird Wraps Paint Schemes, Hunter Geyer. And driving the number 12 Chevrolet Camaro, Ryan Mack. Next, we have our co-league owner and driver of the number 19 Michelob Ultra Ford Mustang, Dakota Dennis. And in the number 20 Easy Go Chevrolet, Dave Stinson. Driving the number 21 Slim Jim Ford, Thomas Adams. Driving the number 27 Milwaukee Tools Ford, Michael Hill. And in the number 46 Featherlight Trailers Chevrolet, Ray Polking. And in the number 48 Smart Racing Concepts Camaro, James Whitehead. And in the number 53 HBO Toyota, Craig Peterson. Driving the number 60 Google Chrome Ford Mustang, Tristan Haynes. In the number 72 Dallas Cowboys Camaro, Hugh Escobar. Driving the number 87 Autocrafter Chevrolet, Jay Craybill. In the number 88 Trackstar Camaro, Colton Kinney. And in the number 91 Nilla Wafer Chevy Camaro, Paul Escobar. Driving the number 94 213 Simware Camaro, and your Season 1 defending champion, Adam Boughton. Driving the number 97 Trackstar Motorsports Chevrolet, Jason Rochelle. Waits Ford Mustang, and your co-league owner, Marcus De La Garza. This race will be officiated by 213 Simware's own Anthony Ludi and broadcasted live on Facebook and YouTube by Rebel Racing Network and your broadcaster, Austin Householder.
All right, and we are back, folks. It looks like qualifying is just finishing up here. Trying to get a live look here at Jason Rochelle. He's shown a lot of speed this season. Still hunting for his first oval win this season. And Daniel Byerly rooting for Jason Rochelle in the chat. And Squadron Ace, we see you with the paint schemes. We're trying to get those refreshed right now. Rochelle, though, just finishing up his qualifying run, good enough to take 6th. And it looks like everyone has finished their qualifying runs that is going to qualify. So we are now going to head down trackside for our opening ceremonies presented by Oorah Flyovers. At this time, please stand as you are able, remove your hats, place your hand over your heart, and veterans render a hand salute as the United States Marine Corps Band performs our national anthem. All right, and we are back, folks. The drivers are beginning to grid up, and we are going to go ahead and run through our official starting grid here tonight. Starting on the pole will be the number 94 of Adam Boughton. Ray Polking will be hit to his outside in second, driving the number 46. Tristan Haynes will roll off third, driving the number 60. In fourth will be Jackson Sibley, driving the number 4. Hunter Geyer going to roll off fifth, driving the number 8. Jason Rochelle in sixth, driving the number 97. Lee Hamby will roll off 7th, driving the number 47. Jay Craybill will start 8th, driving the number 87. Dakota Dennis will be rolling off 9th in the 19 car. Mike Hill will be starting 10th, driving the number 27. And 11th will be Paul Escobar, driving the number 91. 12th will be Marcus De La Garza in the 99 car. And 13th will be Ryan Mack, driving the number 12 car. Todd Byer will start 14th in the number 84 car. And 15th will be Hugh Escobar, driving the number 72. And 16th will be Ryan Comba, driving the number 204 car. He is making his return here tonight. Joseph Miller will be rolling off 17th, driving the number 16. Travis Neiman will be starting 18th in the number 5. Colton Kinney will start 19th, driving the number 88. And 20th will be Christopher Williams is being shown as 20th, but he will be a scratch tonight. So the 20th position will go to Dave Stinson, driving the number 20. And starting 21st and rounding out your field will be Craig Peterson in the number 53 car. Drivers are now making their way around, and the man to watch tonight, I think, is going to be that number 84 of Todd Byer. He won the race at Las Vegas last week in his debut of the TCR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series. And I think he's going to make some waves here tonight, even though he is starting back there in the middle of the pack. Also want to keep an eye on that number 46 of Ray Polking, still hunting for his first win. He's racked up a couple of top 3 finishes, but still has yet to find victory lane. I think tonight might be the night he's able to do it. And the pace car is off. Green flag is out. We are off and racing. Adam Boughton getting the jump. He jumps out to an early lead. And here comes Tristan Haynes with an old school Greg Biffle throwback. And we've got Sunk Track in the chat saying he's slow and going to be on the wall tonight. So we're getting single file here early on. And Lee Hamby in the outside wall here on lap 2. Not the start that 47 car was looking for. And these are the kind of tracks Lee Hamby excels at. We saw him last season able to lap the entire field at some of these shorter tracks. But he's going to drop back to 16th, but down 9 positions from where he started. Other driver struggling is that 46 of Ray Polking. He started second, but has dropped back to 4th. Tristan Haynes and Jackson Sibley getting by him. Checking back in with that 8 of Hunter Geyer. You see him wrapping the outside line. And that is where you want to be here at Darlington. You want to ride that top line. That does appear to be the quickest way around the track, but you will end up with that Darlington stripe if you even make one misstep there. So have to be very careful. Adam Boughton continuing to open up that gap. He is already at almost a second gap between him and Tristan Haynes back there in second. And looking back in the pack, Marcus De La Garza working his way around Travis Neiman. De La Garza looking to move up in the standings. He did not get the start he was looking for, losing 2 positions on that initial start. But He is battling back as he now has Hugh Escobar in his sights. De La Garza going to take the outside. You see Hugh Escobar getting extremely low and washing up the track. And you guys see that dashed line down there. That is below that line is a different banking. You're not going to have the banking to go at full speed through that corner if you get down there, and if you try and push it, you will end up washing up the track. Marcus De La Garza able to get around Hugh Escobar, no problem though. But he does have a way to go to get back to Ryan Mack. Ryan Mack stuck behind Joseph Miller and Todd Byer side by side. Joseph Miller getting the position, but Todd Byer going to battle back on the inside. Miller washing up the track. I'm not sure if he made contact with that outside wall or not, but he came pretty close. And that battle right there has allowed Marcus De La Garza to catch up to that 12 of Ryan Mack tonight. Now 8 laps in the books, and guys, on lap 16, the broadcast booth is going to go silent for the entirety of lap 16 in honor of Greg Biffle. And we go back up to the front of the pack. Adam Boughton continuing to open up that gap. That gap is now sitting at 1.6 seconds. He is putting on a clinic here tonight early on. We're going to see if those tires are going to stick to that 94 car, or we're going to see some major fall off out of the 94 camp. Back in the pack, Paul Escobar now trying to work his way around that 87 of Jay Craybill. Escobar not able to get it done. It looks like he's going to back off, try and pull these tires off. Looks like we may have a battle shaping up. Ray Polking down 2 positions from where he started, but he is hanging right around that 4 of Jackson Sibley. Appears to be making a little bit of a gain on him. So Polkin just trying to save some tires just to be there at the end. That 97 of Jason Rochelle approaching fast here. We could have a 3-way battle for third here in just a few laps. Hunter Geyer is hanging out back there in 6th, looking to throw his hat into the ring as well. Hunter Geyer not really had the speed here at Darlington that we're used to seeing out of that 8 car. It is a tricky track. We're going to see if he can get up to these guys and maybe try and advance his position here. Is Jackson Sibley getting into the outside wall? Ray Polking going to use that opportunity to go around him. Jason Rochelle thinking about following suit, not able to get it done though. As we go check in with Adam Boughton in that 94 car crossing the line. At the start of lap 15, once again, lap 16, the broadcast booth is going to go quiet in honor of the late Greg Biffle. Adam Boughton making his way down the backstretch, and he is still laying down some fast lap times. Still running in the 30s while everyone else has fallen off into the 31s. Right, and we do thank you guys for that moment of silence here on lap 16 as we see two Biffle paint schemes getting ready to battle it out for second. And we would also like to mention that the TCR League has donated $150 to the Biffle Family Legacy Impact Fund. And just an update, TCR did have a budget overage tonight that they have put forward to that fund. So I'm sure on behalf of the Biffle Family Legacy Impact Fund, they would like to reach out and thank the TCR League for donating. And back down on track, Tristan, the Ray Polking, trying to hold off that 60 of Tristan Haynes. They touch. Polking slid up the track. He makes contact with Tristan Haynes. Tristan Haynes going to back out of it. They will keep those cars straight. This competition is heating up front. Once again, guys, the pit window is going to be open here between lap 45 and 47 for fuel. And the way Adam Boughton has jumped out to an early lead and has been able to manage those tires, I think some drivers here in the back, particularly Jason Rochelle, Ray Polking, have got to be thinking about changing up their pit strategy. If it stays green, we're going to need 2 pit stops to get this one done. So in reality, that pit window is going to be open now. And as I say that, we do have our first caution of the night. Tristan Haynes caught up in this one. We'll go take a look, see what happened here. You see that 60 getting a little bit antsy in the corners. He gets up into that outside wall, rides the wall all the way around, and it looks like something broke with his steering, because when he came out of the corner, he ends up sliding down to the inside wall, blowing his engine with the impact there. That's going to end his night. And that 8 car's bad luck almost continued here. He just narrowly missing Tristan Haynes as he comes off that wall. We're going to ride along with him real quick. See what happened from his point of view. See Haynes there on the outside wall. You can hear the way Hunter Geyer had to feather it to keep from getting into Tristan Haynes. But green flag or yellow flag pit stops have started, and it looks like everyone's going to be a taker here tonight. It does appear Ryan Comba is going to stay out, trying to get a lap back here for that 204 car. Boughton is going to win the race off pit road. Looks like Jason Rochelle in second. Ray Polking comes off third. Jackson Sibley in fourth. Hunter Geyer will round out your top five when we get back going here. And we will step aside for a quick commercial break. Back, folks, getting ready to reset the field and go back racing here. Looks like it's going to be about lap 26, 27 once we get back green flag racing. So far, it has been all Adam Boughton here tonight. I think that caution came out at just the right time for that 94 car. It's a no-brainer. Everyone going to come down and pit here. And they will be able to make it to the end with just one more fuel stop. So that is going to hurt anyone's chances of trying to run a different pit strategy than that 94 car. Something is going to have to give here. We're going to see if Jason Rochelle or Ray Polking has anything that can hang with Adam Boughton when we go back green flag racing as the pace truck dives down pit road. And the green flag is out. Adam Boughton going to take off. Ray Polking caught sleeping there. Jason Rochelle moving down to the inside, falling right in line behind Adam Boughton. And Clara entering the chat, rooting for Jackson Sibley, who currently sits in fourth tonight, as he's getting ready to put that pressure back on Ray Polking. Polking did get his position back after Jackson Sibley made contact with that outside wall. It looks like that 46 car is going to be determined to keep that position this time or this restart. Here comes that 8 of Hunter Geyer as well as the 87 of Jay Craybill. Single file early on here in this run, all throughout the pack. We see the back of the pack getting spread out here early on as well. And our biggest mover of the night so far is this man right here, that 16 of Joseph Miller, up 10 positions to 7th, where he's seemed to even out here. Jay Craybill has opened up that gap on him. As we continue to run single file here. Back towards the front of the pack. Adam Boughton opening up this gap. Now sitting at about a 1.2 seconds. Only 3 laps into this run. And we do have Tristan Haynes in the infield care center. We're going to go ahead and take a moment to talk to him. Tristan, it's Austin up at the booth. You got me? Tristan, it's Austin up at the booth. You got me?
I got you.
All right, man. We caught the replay of what happened there. It looked like something on the car road from where you were sitting. What happened?
Just me getting to the wall. Kept repeatedly getting to the wall. As I was in second, I just kept hitting the outside wall. Made my car feel so terrible. and then repeatedly just hitting the wall, and then finally off 4, I hit it, and then hit the inside, and then just destroyed my car.
All right, so we caught that spin off of turn 4. Was it just the impact of bouncing off that wall that sent you down to the infield there, or was something wrong with the steering?
It just the bounce off the wall. I couldn't control it. I was already heated up as is, so I just kind of lost my temper and just I didn't try to correct it as well.
All right, and I've got to ask, we saw Hunter Geyer. He was right behind you through all that. We know he's had that bad luck last couple weeks, and we saw his temper get the better of him last week. Was anything said through the iRacing chat about that incident?
No, I didn't hear anything from him. It was just radio silent, just me with my team and just me not so happy.
All right, so that's tough luck, but we know you are going to be back here next week where we have Martinsville Motor Speedway, another short track. Are you looking forward to Martinsville?
Just hold back and make more than 30 laps like I did today.
All right, sounds good. We appreciate you taking the time to talk to us. Better luck next week. Have a good evening, buddy.
All right, you too. Thank you.
Thank you. And once again, that was Tristan Haynes, driver of that number 60. His night is done early on here. Single file racing does continue here, but Hunter Geyer's getting ready to put pressure on his teammate there, Jackson Sibley. Jackson Sibley over driving the corner. He's in the outside wall, and that is exactly what Hunter Geyer was looking for, as well as that 87 of Jay Craybill. Sibley struggling with that outside wall here tonight. He's going to have to do something to get that car under control. That was a hard hit. The toe may be damaged on that car, going to make it even harder to control. And not going to help that tire wear either. We are moving back up to the front. Adam Boughton, who's been dominant this race, but this man right here, that 97 of Jason Rochelle, has begun to close the gap with Adam Boughton. It was 1.2 seconds earlier on. Now down to only 9/10 of a second. Jason Rochelle finding some speed late in this one. Once again, when we were looking at the weather, it was predicted to cool off. We'll take a quick look at it here. Temperature down to 79. I do believe it was 80 here earlier. Still cloudy skies, but that is going to help that track cool off and help these times. As Rochelle tries to close that gap. Although Adam Boughton has shown a lot of speed here, and he is good almost wherever we go. He is a contender. So I'm thinking it may be some pit strategy that Jason Rochelle needs to use to try and get up to that 94 car and make that pass for first. Back here in third, we still have Ray Polkin sitting back here trying to save his tires, something he's been working on for the past 2 seasons. And he has done a good job of learning the tire-saving strategies. Seems like through season 1, he would always fade about this point in a run, start fading and falling back, but that not the case here tonight. He still hangs on to third and holds about a second lead over that 8 car of Hunter Geyer. Geyer and Jay Craybill have been able to open up that gap over Jackson Sibley. Sibley continuing to fall after his contact with that outside wall. Now at this point in the broadcast, I do believe it is time for a Creative Castle. Crank it up. All right, and we do appreciate Creative Castle for sponsoring that Crank It Up session. Getting back to the racing, Jay Craybill opening up that gap over Hunter Geyer. You saw it under that Crank It Up session. Hunter Geyer having a couple of issues getting that outside wall, and that has allowed Jackson Sibley to reel him back in. Sibley getting ready to put pressure on for 5th. That is not how you do it right there, as Jackson Sibley now making some contact with that outside wall. A lot of people struggling with that outside wall here tonight, but Adam Boughton and Jason Rochelle have not. That time now down to 0.4 of a second between the two. So they're going to work their way by that 88 of Colton Kinney. Colton Kinney getting out of the way. And the time down to, now to 0.3 of a second. Adam Boughton going to make contact with that outside wall. That's going to allow Jason Rochelle to close in by another 1/10 of a second. Boughton has got to be looking in his rear view mirror and feeling the pressure right about now. Rochelle very smooth. I've not seen him make contact with that outside wall yet tonight. It looks like Adam Boughton pushing that car just about as hard as it will go. Just trying to stay out in front, and I do think that 94 may have made a mistake, pushed that car too hard, and those tires have gotten warm. They are slick, they are greasy, and that is going to allow Jason Rochelle to catch up to that 94 of Adam Boughton. We see Jason Rochelle trying to get just a little bit lower than that 94 car. Not going to be able to make the move there. It looks like that move may have cost him about 1/10 of a second. Now 48 laps into this one. And that pit window is approaching fast as well. See Boughton washing up the track, just narrowly staying off of that outside wall. And they're coming up on the lap traffic of Hugh Escobar. I don't know if Hugh knows where to go. Hugh gonna stick to the top side. Adam Boughton looked like he was ready to make a move, but Hugh was there. Boughton gonna have to check up and allow Jason Rochelle to get next to him. Rochelle not able to keep it down on the low side. He's going to have to get out of it. That's going to allow Adam Boughton to drive away as we've just passed lap 50. And it's going to be about 5 more laps, and that pit window will be open. And now Jason Rochelle going to get to the inside of Adam Boughton. They are neck and neck. Rochelle being scored the leader, and he has cleared Adam Boughton. And that is going to prevent Adam Boughton from locking up the most laps led. For the time being, Boughton just needs to lead one more lap, and he will secure those bonus points. As now Rochelle is going to have to deal with the lap traffic. That is the number 6 and correction, the number 5 of Travis Neiman in front of them. Rochelle gets by him as well as Adam Boughton. But even more lap traffic awaiting that 97 of Jason Rochelle. And he's got to navigate this lap traffic cleanly if he wants to stay out in front of Adam Boughton. We did mention these guys can get about 47 laps out of one tank of gas. Oh, a hard hit. That's Ryan Mack in the outside wall. That was a hard lick, and I've got to think that steering has got to be messed up on that 12 car. We're going to see if he can keep it straight. And just a live look at our pit stops here. Everyone pitted on lap 22. We are now 33 laps into this green flag run. And those tires have got to be getting worn. Jason Rochelle now with about a second lead over Adam Boughton. That pit window has opened up. Now I'm thinking if I am Jason Rochelle, I've got to be thinking about coming down pit road here at about the next 5 to 10 laps. Trying to pit early, take advantage of Adam Boughton being on these old tires that it looks like are pretty used up at this point. Open up that gap. Paul Escobar getting in the outside wall. And again, some of these issues that we've seen out of some of these drivers, Paul Escobar contacted the outside wall twice, and I'm not mistaken, Ryan Mack way down the track with an issue. It may be smarter just to stay out and hope for a caution. So there is some gambling to be done. If I'm Rochelle, I've got to be worried about Adam Boughton getting on fresh tires and being able to make a charge back up to the front. Rochelle now has a 1.6 second buffer between him and Adam Boughton, though. I tell you what, if I'm that 97 car, I do not want that 94 pitting before me. As Jay Crable now charging to third. Ray Polking looks like he was held up by the 91 of Paul Escobar. We should see some green flag pit stops coming up here soon. Before we do, though, we are going to step aside for another quick commercial break.
From the track to the tech, Creative Castle keeps your code running as clean as your laps. We test real-world devices and digital platforms so your next release won't crash in turn one. At Creative Castle, we elevate your software with expert quality assurance and cross-platform testing. Whether it's native apps or networked hardware, we deliver precision-tested performance at scale. Behind every smooth app and smart device is a quiet castle. Creative Castle. We're the quality wizards and test knights who battle bugs and break bad code before it breaks your product. Creative Castle. Quality at full throttle. Your quest for quality ends here.
Folks, a big thank you to Creative Castle, as well as the American Esports Racing Association. They will be starting their season with Rebel Racing Network here in 2 weeks. The week after Easter, they will make their first regular season race here on Rebel Racing Network. That will be Sunday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you guys tune in for that. But green flag pit stops have started. Jackson Sibley on pit road, as well as the 87 of Jay Craybill. Hunter Geyer also coming down, and Todd Byer on pit road as well. They are going to fall, looks like 2 laps down for each of them. We're going to see if that gamble pays off. Jason Rochelle, though, laying down some fast times, about a half second faster than Adam Boughton that last time. It looks like staying out may be the right move for that 97. But if I am that 97, I am looking in my rearview mirror, trying to figure out when exactly that 94 is going to pit. Do not let him get out there on fresh tires and make up that time. That would be my number one priority if I was in the cockpit of that 97 car. And Ray Polkin here in this 46 car, he's got to be thinking about doing something different. Maybe coming down pit road here a little early on. Joseph Miller, Dakota Dennis, and Mike Hill on pit road. Mike Hill rocking another Biffle throwback paint scheme. Only 4 cars will be left on the lead lap. I'm at 46 car. I am getting ready to come down pit road myself at this point, trying to get a couple laps on fresher tires over Adam Boughton, trying to close that gap that currently sits at about 3 seconds. But it may be too late. Here comes Adam Boughton. Jason Rochelle has bypassed pit road. We're going to see just how long he is going to stretch this out. Now keep in mind, these drivers that have pitted or just coming off pit road will be on cold tires. They will not have the grip in those tires and could run the risk of spinning themselves out. Jason Rochelle going to bring it down pit road here, it looks like. A great entrance for him. And Ray Polkin going to join him as well here on lap 68. So Jay Craybill in that 87 looking to get a lap here, or lap back here. Ray Polkin still on pit road, as well as Jason Rochelle. Rochelle exiting pit road now. Jay Craybill looking to get a lap back here, or take over the lead here. He tries to get that car up to speed, and I don't think he's going to get up to speed in time to get by Jason Rochelle. Craybill does have those warm tires, though. He can push just a little bit harder than Rochelle. I don't know if he's going to have enough time, though, as Rochelle is now up to speed. About a second and a half separating those two. He was able to work his way around Adam Boughton, but Adam Boughton on those fresh tires. About 10 lap fresher tires than Jay Craybill. Now I'm going to put pressure on him, and Jason Rochelle's got to look in his rear view and love seeing this make Adam Boughton burn up those tires early. Boughton now clears Craybill. He's got about a second and a half to make up on that 97 of Jason Rochelle. Now 10 cars left on the lead lap. Dakota Dennis, your last car on the lead lap. But Jason Rochelle is quickly approaching. Two multiple lap down cars separating Rochelle from Dakota Dennis in that 19. And it looks like we've got an issue out of Travis Neiman here. Caution is out. That is going to be our second caution of the night, and we're going to reset up this field for what looks to be a 25-lap shootout to the end. You go back and take a look, see what happened here with Travis Neiman. Right along with him, a hard hit there. It looks like he made contact with that 91 of Paul Escobar. Neiman in that 5 car. Paul Escobar in that outside wall. It looks like Neiman slid up the track just a little bit too much. Paul Escobar already with his issues in the wall, and Neiman's going to bounce off that 91 car. Looks like he thought he was going to be clear, and he wasn't. As pit stops have started here, Adam Boughton going to come down pit road and get some fresh tires on that 94 car, even though he's only got about 5 laps on though. So Jason Rochelle and Jay Craybill going to stay out. Ray Polking staying out. Joseph Miller in the 16 will stay out. De La Garza going to stay out. Looks like Mike Hill's going to stay out as well. That is going to shake things up, folks. Looks to be about 6 cars on old tires. Adam Boughton getting some fresh tires put on that 94 car. Jackson Sibley going to go with 2 tires. He gets off of pit road before Adam Boughton. So now we're starting to see those varying strategies we were talking about here. We're going to see how this plays out, and this is typically where trouble tends to start. And you've got a bunch of cars on old tires up front. And we will step aside for a quick commercial break.
Do you love Orlando's theme parks, but the long lines have you losing the magic? Introducing Ride Waits, the Apple Watch app designed to help you skip the stress and ride more, with real-time wait times and park info right on your wrist. Whether you're exploring Walt Disney World, adventuring through Universal Orlando, or taking it all in at SeaWorld, Ride Waits helps you navigate smarter and get the most out of your visit. No more wandering, no more guessing, just more riding. And it's not just wait times. Ride Waits also offers tips on the best times to ride, general park info, and helpful alerts so you never miss out on your favorite attraction. Whether you're planning ahead or making game day decisions in the park, Ride Waits keeps everything you need at a quick glance away. Ride Waits, your wrist-side guide to the best parks in Orlando. Available now on the Apple Watch store.
Not affiliated with or endorsed by any theme park brand.
All right, and we are back, folks. They are doubled up. Jason Rochelle will lead them to the green flag. Jay Craybill to his outside. Ray Polkin in third. Joseph Miller in fourth. Marcus De La Garza restart in fifth. Jackson Sibley in sixth. Adam Boughton will restart seventh. Eighth will be Todd Byer. Dakota Dennis in ninth. And Hunter Geyer is going to round out your top 10 here. Watch out for this 4-car of Jackson Sibley. He took 2 tires trying to get the position advantage, and it works out. He's going to get to start a whole row ahead of where he was going to. Watch him on the outside once this green flag drops. And the pace truck is off. And the green flag is out. Jason Rochelle getting the jump. Jay Craybill hangs on to second place. Ray Polky not getting the start he was looking for. Joseph Miller going to jump to third here, and here comes that 4 of Jackson Sibley putting the pressure on Ray Polk, and he's got the fresh tires. Marcus De La Garza with Adam Boughton caught behind him. Sibley going to the inside of Polking. Get ready, it looks like we're going to have Adam Boughton thinking about trying to get underneath Marcus De La Garza. De La Garza getting underneath Polking now. And we've got a traffic jam in front of that 94 of Adam Boughton. Boughton looking for a way around. He makes contact with that outside wall. De La Garza going to pull off here. It looks like there may be an issue with that 90. Now he's just going to cut that turn short. De La Garza looked a little bit uncomfortable there. And he's going to back out of it. Maybe a smart move for that 99. Live to fight another day. So we're down to 21 to go. So Adam Boughton gets around De La Garza. Now he's got Ray Polking in his sights. Checking in with Jackson Sibley. He's looking to close that gap with Joseph Miller. Miller off the outside wall. That's going to slow him up and open up that door for Jackson Sibley. Ooh, Miller runs Sibley high. Sibley's in the outside wall. That car is hurt. toe damage. It looks like we've got even more issues back in the pack. Escobar slow. Looks like he might have gotten together with his brother Paul. Jay Craybill washing up the track there. Come back in with that 4 of Jackson Sibley. That is some major damage to that 4 car. He's going to drop back to 9th. It looks like Joseph Miller, after that incident, struggling as well. Down to 18 laps to go. Squadron Ace cheering for door to door. I do want to go back, look at that issue with Jackson Sibley. Back it up here. Looks like Sibley was already in that outside wall, and Joseph Miller just giving him the check back up into it. Adam Boughton going to get in the rear quarter panel of Jackson Sibley. Sibley fights to keep it straight. Joseph Miller, I do believe, had an issue as well. Ray Polkin able to get underneath Joseph Miller. I think Miller might have gotten some damage out of that one too. So while we're away, Adam Boughton able to get around Ray Polk, and he's going to set his sights on Jay Craybill. While all this is going on, Jason Rochelle has opened up his lead to almost 4 seconds. Over second place, Jay Craybill, only 14 laps left to go. Now, Adam Boughton running about the same lap times as Jason Rochelle. He's got about 4/10 on Jay Craybill, though. Adam Boughton looking to come back for a second place finish. You saw it there, folks. A quick update. Adam Boughton has secured the most laps led here tonight, unless we were to get overtime with 51. As Jay Craybill going to get in the outside wall, that's going to allow Adam Boughton to go on by. He's about 2/10 slower than Jason Rochelle that last time by. 4.3 seconds separating the two, but that gap is starting to close between Adam Boughton and Jason Rochelle. Boughton with the faster car. 12 laps left to go, and I don't think Adam Boughton has the car to get that done unless we were to see another yellow flag. Checking back in with Ray Polkin back there in 4th. He's been able to close that gap with Jay Craybill. Jay Craybill's contacted that outside wall. Not helping that 87 car right now. And Rochelle coming off of turn 4, getting ready to make it 10 laps to go. That gap between him and Adam Boughton is dwindling, now down to 3.5 seconds. Boughton was about 4/10 of a second faster that last lap than Jason Rochelle. does appear that he does have the car to catch the leader. Now, catching him and passing the leader are two separate things, though. Jason Rochelle, with that reset at that caution, no more lap traffic. That's going to give Jason Rochelle clean air. And he's going to dirty up that air behind him, make it incredibly hard for that 94 car to pass. About a half a straightaway separating those two. And a live look at the time difference these last 5 laps. 4 out of the 5, Boughton was faster. The gap now down to 3 seconds. That last time by, Adam Boughton faster by about 0.2 of a second. That time is winding down, though. And back of the pack, Jay Craybill trying to fight off Todd Byer. Todd Byer going to get around him. Correction, Ray Polking getting around Jay Craybill. Todd Byer, as well as Hunter Geyer, looking to follow suit. Jay Craybill struggling here late in this run, down to 6 to go. And looks like they've got it sorted out back here, so we're going to go back to Adam Boughton. About 2.5 seconds separating him from Jason Rochelle. Boughton faster by about 0.3 of a second than last time by. Only 5 laps left to go, though. All right, going back up to our chat. Looks like some gambling going on with Sunk Track. Some gambling over at Warhorse. Now down to 4 laps to go. Boughton only faster by about 1/10 of a second than Jason Rochelle that last time by. We've now got a battle between Hunter Geyer and Jay Craybill. They make contact. Jay Craybill in that outside wall. Hunter Geyer is able to drive off of him. I tell you what, Jay Craybill can't be happy about that. Down to 3 laps to go. And honestly, if I'm sitting in Adam Boughton's seat, I'm backing off right now, trying to save some tires just in case we get overtime here tonight. Ray Polking trying to fend off Todd Byer. Now down to 2 laps to go. Jason Rochelle now running into lap traffic. The gap between him and Adam Boughton is 2 seconds. That lap traffic diving out of the way. Jason Rochelle just needs to cross the line, and the next flag will end the race. And he does. White flag is out. Last lap. Jason Rochelle leads it by 1.5 seconds over Adam Boughton. Todd Byer still trying to find a way around Ray Polking. He makes contact with that outside wall, and I don't think he's going to be able to do it. As Jason Rochelle going to come off of turn 4. Checkered flag is waving. Jason's Rochelle going to take the checkered flag. Adam Boughton going to come home in second. And Ray Polking holds on to cross the line in front of Todd Byer. I tell you what, we got to go back and watch this last lap battle between Ray Polking and Todd Byer. Byer trying everything he can to get by that 46. You see Byer making contact with that outside wall. 3 car lengths between them. Polking and Byer both going to make contact coming into the backstretch. Polking took the worst of that. Byer's pushing that car as hard as he can. He's got the run on Polking. And they will park it here on the front stretch. And Tanner Buchanan in the chat saying chug for Jason Rochelle, as Rochelle's going to burn it down now. And tonight we can call this burnouts for Biff. Rochelle going to burn it down in his Biffle throwback paint scheme. All right, and we are going to go ahead and kick off our interviews here with that number 46, Ray Polking. Get him moved up here to the broadcast booth. Ray, it's Austin up at the booth. You got me?
Yeah, I got Justin. Go ahead.
All right, man. Congratulations on yet another top 3 finish here tonight. You know, we're still waiting on you to get that win, but it's got to feel good to get another top 3 under your belt, especially here at Darlington.
I had to work for this one.
Yes, you did. Now, I want to go back. You know, we were catching bits and pieces of that last lap battle with you and Todd Byer. Take us through driving through that.
I was going as fast as I could to try to keep him behind me. I was blocking him, bouncing the car off the wall, doing everything to do to keep him behind me because he was really coming.
Oh, he was coming like a bat out of hell, and you know, we were watching you guys, and it seemed like every time we tuned in, you know, you guys were just bouncing, you know, both cars off the wall, trying to stay, you know, stay on pace with each other, pushing them as hard as you could.
Yeah, we weren't saving nothing.
And you know, speaking of saving, how did the tires hold up tonight?
Not too bad. They said they you got about 25 really good laps on it, then they really started to fall off. Like on the first run, we had 20 laps in. I had like 89% left on the right front, so they weren't holding up too bad.
All right. Well, yeah, I'm curious to know what the tires look like after that last lap run. Probably not as good. Now, we were watching the pit strategies there at the end, and if I'm not mistaken, you were one of the drivers that stayed out with that last caution. You know, going back, would you change anything on that decision?
Probably not. I didn't know if that was going to be a mistake or not, because again, I just came in and pitted like 4 laps before then, so I was trying to save my last set in case there was a late green-white checker or something where I needed a nice fresh set. But I won't need to get track position too. That really helps too, because it's really hard to pass here.
All right. Well, it definitely looks like it paid off, even with that fight to the very end. We're gonna let you get on out of here, though. Before we do, anyone you want to thank tonight?
Just my teammates. We worked really good in practice this week, and you also putting on a good broadcast, and that's pretty much it.
All right. We appreciate it, buddy, and we will see you back here next week for Martinsville. Congratulations again. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, once again, that was Ray Polking coming in third here tonight. We're going to move on to our second place finisher, Adam Boughton. Adam, saw us up at the booth. You got me?
Yes, I do.
All right, man. Congratulations on a second place finish and locking down the most laps led for those bonus points here tonight with a very close 51 laps. We were watching you from the end of or the beginning of that very last caution, and you had only pitted like about 4 laps before. What was your decision making that led to you wanting to come down pit road and get some fresh set of tires on that car?
Just from what I saw in practice last night was just like 5-lap pressure tires was a pretty significant advantage. Yeah. Just needed a few more cars to pit there. We lost a little too much track position and just lost a little too much time getting through there. But it was starting to work there. We were running down Jason there. Just unfortunately just ran out of time there, and of course didn't start off the race good because chose the wrong car. So I had to run a completely completely unfamiliar car for tonight's race. I accidentally chose a Ford because I typically run the Toyota. So that took a minute to readjust it because as much as they say they're identical, there's a slight handling difference in them. So, but overall, had a solid race there. Started on pole, led the opening portion of the race. For me, the car just went too much to the loose side there, towards the middle of the race, and just slowly fell back there. Jason was able to get up through the field after starting 6th, and that caution sent him up to restart there in 2nd, and he was able to keep up and race me there for the lead, and he never looked back from there.
All right. Well, and then I've got to ask too. You mentioned driving back through the pack. Ryan Mack is got together with, if I'm not mistaken, Joseph Miller, and you had a front row seat to that. Take us through that incident there.
I thought I was killed in that wreck because I did get an incident point from that. I don't know. I haven't looked at the replay, but I did get I got a 4X from that incident, so I don't know if I had damage or not. But that was definitely old brown fire suit moment, and I definitely thought I was dead when that happened. But luckily it didn't seem to hurt the car too bad. But was able to luckily avoid them though.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, we did go back and look at that here at the Rebel Racing Network, and I don't know if you could say you avoided him. You two definitely made contact. It looked like Ryan Mack got the worst of it. Did you notice any changes in the handling after that?
It got a little tight, but at that point, I wasn't noticing it too much because it was still, for the most part, on the loose side. If it would have tightened the car up, but I would have probably enjoyed it a little bit more because that thing was like after about lap 40 in that race, the car was just overly loose for the remainder of the race.
All right. Well, we appreciate you taking the time to talk to us. Congratulations again on a 2nd place finish. Anyone you want to shout out before we let you get out of here?
No, shout out to you for broadcasting the league week in and week out. Do an awesome job. Shout out to everybody that showed up, and overall pretty clean race for a Darlington race. And shout out to my RMS teammate. He was unfortunately unable to miss tonight, so hopefully he can be back next week in Martinsville.
All right. Well, we appreciate it, buddy. We'll let you get out of here. Congratulations again, and we will see you back here next week for Martinsville.
Take it easy.
Thank you. You too. And once again, that was the number 94 of Adam Boughton. We're going to go ahead, try and track down our race winner here. He did not want to hang out in the interview room waiting for his interview, but we've tracked him down anyways. Welcome to the booth, the number 97 of Jason Rochelle. Jason, Austin up with the booth. You got me?
Yeah, I got you. You got me?
I got you, man. Congratulations on your second victory this season. Coming at a very tough track. How does it feel?
Oh, man, it's great. I love this track. Darlington's one of my favorites. Next week will be good, too. I love Martinsville. So next couple tracks, I think we ought to have a pretty good car.
All right. Well, we will be keeping an eye on you. It's definitely a challenge going from, so far we've had essentially 2 super speedways, a road course, Phoenix, and then Las Vegas, and then now down to 2 short tracks. Big change of pace for you guys. How's that affecting the driving out there?
It's getting a little bit more technical, but I like the more technical tracks. Anything that's like a mile and a half, like Charlotte, Las Vegas, Texas, they're all right. But the short tracks, Darlington for sure is one that's pretty technical. You got to be careful and just keep it off that wall, and you can't just be flat out. And it's changing up a little bit. I'm glad we're getting the more technical stuff and getting away from some of the bigger tracks, but I just need to turn my luck around on the bigger tracks.
Well, tonight's going to help you out. I'm looking at the points now. You've gained a position now up to 4th. 282 points. Adam Boughton, the points leader with 312. You're closing the gap. Adam Boughton, unfortunately for you, was going to get the bonus points for leading the most laps by just 1 lap. Do you think... Yep, you led 49. He left 51. So, but do you think you can close that gap even more once we get to Martinsville?
I'm hoping so. Adam's a hell of a driver, so I got to really strap in and, hit my marks for sure. Got lucky tonight. When I seen him pit on that last caution, I was like, man, he's so fast on that short run. And then I seen him kind of get buried a little bit in traffic, and I was like, okay, so he's going to have to fight his way up through there. So hopefully by the time, if he got through all that traffic, his tires are going to be as even with mine. I only had 3 laps on mine when the caution came out. So I think we're getting to Martinsville. It should be some good racing. Love racing with Adam. I think Martinsville though is going to be a rough race. I think there's going to be some cautions, beating and banging. It's just how it is there. So.
All right. Well, we are looking forward to it, and I just want to let you know, Tanner Buchanan and Daniel Byerly telling you to chug in the chat.
Awesome.
So you want to elaborate on that for all the viewers that might not be clued in on that?
What'd they say? Chug?
Yep. Chug, 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 chug. It sounds like an inside joke.
That was my... that used to be my old gamer tag when I was racing with those guys in ACC when I first got into sim racing.
All right, we were just curious, but we are going to let you get on out of here and go ahead and start the celebration. Before we do, though, anyone you want to thank?
Yeah, man, I'd like to thank Trackstar for signing me. Want to thank my teammate Colton Kenny for that second to last lap. I was glad he gave me the track there coming off of 4, and also want to thank Bird Wraps for this sweet Greg Biffle throwback wrap, and do it for the Biff, baby. All
right, we saw that burn out for Biff at the end. Definitely no tires left on that car now.
No, and I about blew the motor. I had to shut it down.
All right, man. Well, we'll let you go ahead, get on out of here, start the celebration, go chug a few beers. Congratulations again, and we will see you back here next week for Martinsville.
Awesome. Thank you, man. Have a good one, Austin.
All right, thank you. You too now.
Bye.
All right, and once again, that was Jason Rochelle taking home the win here tonight. We're going to go ahead and run through our official race results. Once again, Jason Rochelle taking the win. Adam Boughton finishes 2nd. Ray Polkin in 3rd. Todd Byer finishes 4th. Hunter Geyer in 5th. Jay Craybill will come home 6th. Joseph Miller finishes 7th. Dakota Dennis finishes 8th. Jackson Sibley in 9th. Mike Hill will finish 10th. Marcus De La Garza coming home in 11th. Lee Hamby will finish 12th. Paul Escobar in 13th. Hugh Escobar will finish 14th. Colton Kinney in 15th. Craig Peterson finishes 16th. And 17th was Ryan Mack. Ryan Combo will finish 18th. 19th will be Travis Neiman. Tristan Haynes finishes 20th. Christopher Williams finishes 21st. And Dave Stinson being scored as 22nd. They are both scratches tonight, did not make the start. And once again, I would just like to thank everyone for tuning in here tonight to the Rebel Racing Network for the TCR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series. Make sure you tune in next Wednesday night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for TCR O'Reilly Auto Parts live from Martinsville. But before that, American Esports Racing Association has one more recruitment race this Sunday, and we have finished our talks with them. That will be broadcasted as well, and we've got a little sibling rivalry. They are still deciding on the track. There are still voting going on, so we will keep you posted on that. But they will be back this Sunday night. Then we will have a week break for Easter from them, and then they will kick off their season at Daytona. I'd just like to thank everyone for tuning in. Make sure you hit that like, follow, subscribe button wherever you are watching, whether it is Facebook or YouTube. And we will see you guys back here on Sunday night.